tracks and start running.
Yep, here we go now, jumping into the gameplay, actually starting it off with the Mantra side. This is going to be Spartan on your screen here. And one thing I do want to highlight is your average age across the board on both sides of the stage is essentially that when Halo Reach came out in 2011, most of these players were about 15 or 16 years old. There's two big exceptions here on the stage. That's going to be Boo Boo and Falcated, who were both 11 when Reach came out, right? So that tells you that just about every other player here in the game was playing Reach right at the age of 16 or 17 when it came out. You can bet that Boo Boo and Falcated were not playing the game at 11, right? So that's kind of a one little thing to look at on the Mantra side, but certainly no indicator of how this will go because they have certainly built a name for themselves in Halo since the drop of Reach.
Yeah, I think it's such an important statement to make because they don't have that past experience that a lot of other players do have over them, right? They can't really rely on their Halo Reach instincts that they've built over time because they don't have that instinct, right? They've had to build that in the past couple months here practicing for this tournament, so it's going to be very interesting to see all these young guns kind of go at it and really just see a lot of raw talent in this series.
Early milk time coming in for the side of RBG here, a little 17-2 lead, as we're going to have another 47 seconds before the hill does move. As we said, just in case you didn't catch any of the first series, this opening hill really is just the table setter. Goes for the shot there, does Spartan, but he will not hit. So now we'll instead go over to Falcated here. As we said, one of the youngest players across the stage, especially when the game did drop. Now 21-5 after the first 90 seconds.
Yeah, really pay attention to those shots and how close they were to being like a massive fucking triple kill, right? I think that it's pretty telling that Spartan might not be as warmed up as he typically should be coming to a series like this, and like things like that are going to dictate how this game goes. I know this game's going back and forth, but great shots about Falcated. I really expect to watch these players heat up as the series continues.
Yep, as you see, this is really the score line you expect. Oh my heavens, was that still a closet spawn? Is that not being blocked? Yes, indeed. Gilkey still gets the closet spawn on Falcated. You saw Falcated just a few steps away. Clutch kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, right? Knowing exactly where the blocking of that closet spawn begins and ends will help you avoid little errors like that.
Yeah, and this is going to be a huge opportunity after getting that double kill right there for RBG Esports. We're going to hold up the setup because what looked like was going to be Mantra in control of this first red hill is now RBG Esports with the first hill, and they're racking up hill time right now. Mantra's got to break this setup, and they need to do it fast before this game starts to get out of hand. Already at 40-19.
Good play. So disciplined, watches that angle so well. Eventually picks up a double as well. That's going to give them now essentially a 50-18 lead here for just a moment. Excuse me, 52-19 is their score total, and they also forced the closet spawns. You saw just how disciplined Blaze was. We're also looking across the other screens. Every other player on the side also just watching their sight lines, acting like it's a freaking Beaver Creek portal, just not taking your crosshairs off of that bottom mid. Ace with a nice move bottom mid to get that pick as well. 57-21 now the score.
Yeah, and Blaze is just doing it all right now. Blocking closet for so long, getting a few kills on the way, and tried to make his way over to hill, but a nice nade on the side of Mantra is going to instantly get him out of the hill. And that was a big kill for Mantra because if Blaze is able to get in that hill full shield and rack up more time, this game could really be getting out of hand. But instead, Boo Boo gets the kill, is able to jump in the hill, and now is starting to build that momentum back for the side of Mantra and get his team back in this game.
Falcated goes for the quick scope there on Blaze. That does not connect, but he will reset top base with one more shot left. This is the second on Blaze as well. However, teammates are there. That's going to be Ace to help out with a triple kill from him. Jumps back in the closet to block, and now just like that, this game is that close, 59-47.
Yeah, look at Ace learning his lesson from the first time where the players spawn behind him in the closet, doing everything he can to block that spawn before pushing out while the hill moves. Great job to get the grenade launcher right when it spawns and control of the hill. Ace doing a phenomenal job of just rotating perfectly, picking up a kill or two, grabbing a power weapon on the way.
If he picks up one more here, that'd be huge. Eventually he will fall though, but like you said, not before doing quite a bit of damage and having that great angle right into Blaze immediately after lifting top green. However, Boo Boo will fall. You have to wonder if he maybe overextended just a bit up top. Falcated unable to finish there, so he will be forced back into the flag. Even further wait for his teammates to spawn as they will make their next push out. Essentially a tied game here, Clutcher.
Yeah, Falcated smelling somebody in front of his base. You can tell he knew Goofy was there, but where was he? Goofy being able to pick up that kill on Ace is going to kind of open up the map and stall any push Mantra has. I think if you're RBG Esports, you're not really focused on the hill right now. You're focused on controlling Blue. That player that was just spotted back there really needs to stay alive, get his teammates spawns, and just control that side of the map for when this hill does move in a minute from now. And
so far, this game has been, if this is a sign of what's to come, and hopefully it is, this is going to be a very tight series here, because essentially the lead has been exchanged now at least 2 or 3 times between these two sides, and now just a few points separating him here after several minutes of play, and that's not always the case here on Nexus King, as we saw in our first series of the day.
Yeah, I love that we just got a glimpse of Gabriel rotating back Blue, making sure no one's spawning there, and really just focusing on holding it down. Because RBG Esports, they did such a good job when the hill rotated to red the first time. They were able to get the kills and rack up a big difference in hill time. Unfortunately, they've lost that lead over the time, but I think that they're setting themselves up for a great opportunity to once again rack up a good chunk when this hill does move to Blue.
Gabriel knew that push is coming down from the green ramp. It eventually does, so we jump on board with Blaze here at S2, trying to help out Gilkey and stay alive. Gets pre-nated, though, by the Boo Boo nade, so he's now going to be taken down as we jump on board with Goofy, who's pushing in on Ace. Also has some help from Gilkey in the back of the base. They will find Spartan and a sniper rifle. It's a double for Goofy. Goes for the triple, doesn't hit it.
Yeah, and he needs to stay alive here. I'm not liking the position of him staying in the hill as Gab pushes back the base. I need to see somebody on RBG Esports kind of rotate, because being in this situation with Snipe is just, it's too hectic. You're trying to watch too many angles. As you see him looking at the cuts, you're seeing him look top gold. He needs to get out of the hill. I love this play by Blaze to allow him to back up and take this angle for Snipe. This is a great job by RBG Esports to have great communication and play to your strengths as far as the power weapons.
And look at that, even though those snipe shots didn't hit, that allows Blaze to hit the shots, picks up a double. Clutch, you called it perfectly. Swapping out your grenade launcher player there allows him to get these angles, and now essentially about to have 3 dead as well. So really great play there from the side of RBG.
And that shows the veteranship that this team has built throughout the grassroots season, right? Like, we saw glimpses of that kind of rotations and that kind of just team awareness and what the exact right play is in Halo 3, and now they're showing us it once again. Blaze just doing it all from the hill right now with the support of his team with the full setup. Goofy still has this angle at Snipe, does get back whacked there, but not before they've been able to build this 50-second lead.
Absolutely. Now taking a look at Blaze, he now has a decision to make if he wants to push back with Gabriel on the base window or try to hold down the hill area. He also has an option to back out at S2. Lots of pressure coming in. Teammates are coming, which might allow him to get out of this. He's going to wait for his shields to recharge as his teammates push up, and it's a great job by Blaze to stay alive and get time through all this.
Yeah, this is an incredible job that even like while not having a complete full setup and having members of Mantra on your side of the map to still somehow be able to rack up hill time throughout all the chaos. Blaze, it feels like he's been in the hill now for over a minute just by himself, and the score is reflecting that, right? Like, this is a deficit that is almost impossible to come back from. We have to see something completely change on the side of Mantra if they want any chance coming back in game 1.
Absolutely. Now, and Gabriel also with some great shots on Ace. He will force Ace all the way back in as well. Eventually, he'll get taken down by Spartan pushing up green. Spartan with a big play on Goofy as well. Spartan picks up 2. But these are some great shots, I was going to say, from Blaze. Ace answers back, and that's a great series of kills for the side of Mantra.
It's a great one-on-one win for Ace, but what does it result to? It results to nothing, because Gilkey shuts him down immediately, and not much hill time's going down. And, like, yeah, it's great for Ace to win that one-on-one and build some confidence, but it really doesn't matter a ton in the big scheme of things. It's the important kills that RBG has been getting throughout this game, the important setups that they've held that have built them this lead. And for Mantra to try and come back, like I said, they're going to have to do something significant as far as holding one of these side hills for multiple minutes in order to come back in this game.
Oh boy, whole party happening at Snipe 2. That's going to be a stick that Spartan picks up in the end, and now Falcated able to get away the sniper rifle with 2 shots left in it as well. It's a 77-point game, quite a sizable lead on a game type like Nexus King. But with 6 minutes left here, certainly still within the realm of possibility.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about this play, just choosing to have the 1 bullet and snipe instead of the grenade launcher. Somebody needs to pick that grenade launcher up because it's such a powerful weapon in the right hand. The shot with the snipe doesn't even land on the Gabriel, not looking at him. And this is a great push by Falcated, but he has to stay alive. So getting weak right there is really going to be a risky opportunity for him to stay alive, and immediately saying that Gilkey's able to take him out, but not after Mantra is able to follow up and get control of red before this next hill moves.
Blaze doing well to stay alive as long as he did, though. Eventually he will fall at the hands of Spartan, and now Spartan going to be grabbing the 30 seconds that are left here. So he'll try to pick up that. And now able to find Gabriel. Might have wanted to wait a little bit longer. Does not get the trade on Gilkey. Gilkey with some fantastic shots to win that second battle. And now a 75-point game between these two sides.
Yeah, and that's a big kill on the Blaze because they're going to find Goofy right after it. And that's a little bit of an over-challenge by Ace, right? You want to see him stay alive there because this is a big moment. This is the moment for Mantra. If they want to come back in this game, they have to hold a red hill setup for about 60 seconds to even compete throughout the rest of the clock, right? So great opportunity for them, but as I say that, they're kind of like playing a little hectic. You can see two of them right next to the hill, no one really watching the green angle, and they're getting naded from that side, which takes down a couple players. This is a great job by Boo Boo to use that wall to stay alive right here and rack up some hill time, but this is kind of too scrappy for me if I'm a fan of Mantra. I want to see Boo Boo get out of the hill, back up, have someone rotate similar to what we saw RBG do earlier.
Let's see if Boo Boo can somehow get out of jail. Here he does. Great timing there. They might have a chance to continue this hole, but like you said, it's been scrappy so far. But they have brought this game back considerably. Keep in mind, they were just down by 75, just like that now. A 187 to 144 game with 4 1/4 left.
Yeah, and this is going to be a real big moment for Boo Boo as he double no-scopes a player. Does not land the second shot, though. Is going to back that player off, and now he's spotted 2 players in front of his base. He's doing a phenomenal job of staying alive, but it's going to come up to him and his teammate right here. If they're able to get these 2 kills, Mantra has an opportunity.
I don't think they've finished that kill yet. Looks like that's going to be Gilkey who was around the base. We'll see who can win this. Gilkey gets the kill, but Falcated picks it up. Double kill killing spree for him now, just about a 40-point game. And that clock will continue to tick down, but the guys on Mantra certainly making this one interesting in our final minutes.
Right, and we didn't see anything on Falcated screen up until that finish on Gilkey, but for him to be on a killing spree within that chaos that's happening at Red really means to me that he just made a game-changing play, that he allowed Mantra to come back in this game because he stayed alive, he got his kills. And to be able to pick up 5 kills in that kind of a situation is huge. And that's why it's a 10-second lead right now, barring they get a couple more seconds right here. And Falcated once again staying alive.
Just like that, 9 points, now 8, and it ticks down. And it looks like with 9 seconds left on this hill before the move, they will even gain the lead for just a moment before we get this hill move to top mid. Just like that, we are tied here in our final 3 minutes of game number 1 between Mantra and RBG Esports.
You can see the members of Mantra starting to heat up, including what that Falcated play was able to relate to, right? And I don't know about this play by Boo Boo to kind of rush for the snipe right there, but if he's able to stay alive with it, Boo Boo is known for doing some serious damage. Goofy's going to try and push him. Does not land the melee, and Boo Boo is able to pick up that kill. Can't land the no-scope just yet. Hits the body, and his teammate's able to finish him up. But this whole time, RBG playing the scrappy time, right? Getting hill during all this chaos. And now they've built themselves 10 more seconds of hill time, which right now is going to be a major factor come towards the end of this game.
Absolutely, and finally a no-scope hits. See if he can finish on Gilkey. Yes, indeed, big play from Falcated as they're down by a small amount now. And we're going to have a minute 13 left on this hill. We'll see exactly how that plays out.
Right, and this is a very interesting push by Falcated. To push bottom green with a snipe, it's not going to be expected.
Killing frenzy.
And now the push is on for Team Mantra. This is a great opportunity for them to swarm blue right now and really take advantage of it because this hill is going to move to blue and it's going to be the deciding factor.
Surprising trade there as he's able to get what looked like great shots there, and I don't think he expected to see that trade come out of it, but in the end, it's 220 to 199 is the score now. Still can go anyway, and like you said, Clutch, it's all going to be about this next move in 36 seconds. It's a 21-point lead at the moment.
Yeah, I know you're down 30, and the last hill only has 60 seconds left, but you need to focus on controlling blue here. You can't be too conscious of controlling this top hill, right? You want to do what you can, but do not give up your life. You have to stay alive at blue. You want to hold it one good setup to be able to call yourselves the winners of game 1, and that's exactly what Ace is going to do. He's going to back up out of that hill. He's going to try and get back into it, it looks like, but it's really not worth his life. I love what we're seeing out of Ace right now. These precious seconds really aren't that precious. It's the big picture of these last 60 seconds that matter.
Might have gotten damage as well there on the second player. Does pick up 1 kill on Gilkey. Also, Blaze, who falls in the hands of Boo Boo Doo Boo now. Just like that, it's a 10-point game.
I mean, that was an incredible just heads-up play by Ace to play his life right there, get control of the grenade launcher, and really focus on making this the last stand that you have as a team.
Oh, man, and it looks like, I'm not mistaken, that is going to be in the end. Yes, indeed. Boo Boo able to stay alive and also going to get his shields recharged. Your 3-point game now, 2-point tied with 30 seconds left to go.
Yeah, and I love this play by Boo Boo to make sure that this clause is blocked because this is the biggest opportunity that RBG Esports is going to have. Boo Boo not missing a shot, winning everybody he can, He's going to be pushed by Gabriel, and this game is far from over right now. Boo Boo staying alive in the closet.
Oh,
unbelievable job.
My word, look at Boo Boo Doo Boo, double kill, killing spree. Can he pick up the third triple kill now, and they have secured the game win here. Oh my, and Exterm as well. And they've got a lot to get excited about as they win game number 1, 250 to 223, and Boo Boo Doo Boo putting on a show.
I mean,
wow.
For Mantra to come back in that game, how many individual just heads up smart plays do we have to see out of Fallicated going on the frenzy, out of Ace backing up perfectly from the top hill, playing his life, getting the grenade launcher, getting tons of damage down, and then Boo Boo Doo Boo popping off with the snipe at the end with the +13 most hill time, 75 seconds.
Oh, and the only player to go positive on his team.
Well, yeah, Fallicated.
Who went even?
Not Fallicated went positive. +11.
Did he?
Yeah.
No.
He had a frenzy, dude. He went +11. Yes.
He went 20. Oh, look, who am I looking at? 26 and 15, +11.
It's been a long break.
It was a long break.
But these guys are starting to heat up.
It was a long break, man. I can't. My eyes aren't working. Amazing stuff, though, to have Boo Boo end that game the way that he did, that we just saw. That's kind of why, you know, there's certain players like you talked about that you get excited about, and then there's one player that plays like Boo Boo. You said it yourself.
There's one guy.
And it's Boo Boo Doo Boo. And what an ending to that game. Killing Frenzy as well. Falcon. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. He had a Killing Frenzy. If he went even, then that's a really weird game.
The rest of that game was pretty rough. But, I mean, just looking at the camera here, the triple, this overkill didn't mean much, but it's a statement, right?
What?
They don't even show it. They kind of.
Who do I have to have a conversation with about that cut?
Well, we're going to get that overkill replayed at some point throughout this tournament. I promise you that, because incredible, right? And to me, it's not about, like, the shots that any of these players were hitting for Mantra. It's about the heads up, smart, stay alive, play this situation perfectly while also hitting your shots, right? And I think that just those three individual plays by 3 different players really stuck out to me, in the Fallicated push bottom green to really try and take over blue there towards the end, and then Ace staying alive on the street, and Boo Boo to finish it off and rotate perfectly with that snipe to block the closet and then pick up the X-term. I mean, that's the Mantra that you want to see. And they were down by what, like 100 seconds at one point?
I think the biggest that we called out was 75, which is a huge margin on any game type, Nexus King included. And we were lucky because we rarely do you see a Nexus King come down to the last 30 seconds of gameplay. Almost never. So fantastic game number 1 out of those 2 teams.
Yeah, and I think that bodes well off of players that I don't want to deem them just momentum players, but if you are a momentum player and you do feed off energy of like close wins, like we know, like Spartan, he gets hype after like those close wins. Like this game too can really benefit Team Mantra off of being backs against the wall halfway through that game 1 and coming out on top like that. That's the start to a ripple in a wave that you can ride.
Absolutely, and you have to look at the other side. If you look at the guys on RBG, going to need to bounce back in a big way in this game, and they're going to be feeling pretty flat after blowing what was a 75-point, or maybe even more if we didn't catch the exact number. Quite a margin that they essentially let slowly the side of Mantra claw back into.
Yeah, it's a tough loss, right? And I've been a part of losses on Nexus King like that in Reach, and Nexus King can go out of hand because, like I said, all it takes is one setup. You get one good setup on one of the sides, and you can get 2 minutes of time. And 2 minutes of time, 120 seconds, like, you can come back in just about any game, no matter what the deficit is. And Mantra showing their team composure and showing that they're built for long term is what that showed me. They didn't just give up. They didn't just chalk up game 1 in this series. They decided to come back and fight it. And I mean, that's a scary lineup if they're able to do things like that.
Absolutely. Now, game number 2, if you didn't see the series that earlier, it's going to be Zealot, Slayer, Clutch. Any thoughts going into this game, what we might see from these 2 sides if we use game 1 as any indicator?
I think we started to see a lot of players heat up with the snipe, right? And Zealot Slayer being one of those maps that if you get the snipe and you get the right angles, you can really dictate how that game is going to go. And I expect, honestly, I expect RBG Esports to really be focused on getting that snipe possibly in the hands of someone like Gilkey, someone like Goofy, and to really allow them to just like go off with it and bring their team back into this series and tie this one up. It's going to be the jobs of Boo Boo and Ace to stop that from happening. And if they're able to and find themselves up 2-0 in this series, it's going to be really tough for even RBG Esports to come back.
Absolutely. This game number 2, an opportunity for RBG to reset a bit. Goofy, Gilkey, Blaze, and Gabriel now to try to tie the series up 1-1. But on the other side, Mantra, Ace, Boo Boo Doo, Falcated, and Spartan going to want to continue steamrolling at the same pace that they have. Like we said, on paper, if you look at average age when Reach release on one side of the stage is about 13 years old. On the other side, said about 17 years old. You got the 2 young guns, though. They do take game number 1.
Let's pay attention to the pace of this Zealot Slayer, right? It's going to be very similar. It's going to be one of the fastest paced games we have in Reach. And I think that having watched RBG Esports just thrive in the chaos that was their Halo 3 performances a lot of the time, they were setting such a fast pace for teams, and teams were having trouble struggling with the pace that they set on maps like Amplified Slayer and Halo 3. I think that Zealot Slayer is something very similar to a map like Amplified, to the point where you're able to kind of keep the foot on the gas pedal and really pressure teams and not let them get comfortable, or not let them get all 4 alive even at times. I think that RBG Esports, this is probably a strong game type for them. Just knowing them as players,
yeah,
I would think that this is going to be something that they're really looking to be aggressive and not slow down. They want this game, they want to erase the memory of game 1 as fast as possible. I think they'll do that by setting a very fast pace here at Zealot Slayer.
I was thinking the same thing. If you look at the likes of Goofy, Gabriel, excuse me, Gilkey, and Blaze, 4 guys that absolutely can, fly in, play in-your-face Halo. They're going to be bringing that here, but also hopefully a team that can make sure they don't let things get out of hand. They did let things get out of hand on Nexus King, and we saw the first time that we saw this clutch, things get out of hand as well. And looks like now we are getting ready to jump into game number 2. Based on some of the charades that we saw from the station referees, wasn't sure if this is going to be our game number 2, but it looks like we are off to an official start here, and that's going to be an official 3-0 start, 4-0 for the side of Mantra.
Yeah, and this is going to be a tough spawn for the rest of RBG Esports right now, because they're getting called out and now they're trapped on the health pack, and they can't seem to get out of this, right? So they're going to have to use their teamwork in order to try and fight out of it. They do get 1 kill, but members of Mantra are all around the map, and they're kind of able to take their angles with the sniper and with the support from top middle, and it's going to be difficult for RBG Esports to get out of with their lives. Just as I said that, he gets caught off by Spartan, and now they've lost the only power weapon they had in the grenade launcher.
Ace able to pick up 1 extra kill. Going to challenge. Gilkey does hit the body. Gilkey, though, in the end, gets the win there, largely in part due to a multiplayer gold push there. 9-5 is the look of the lead for Mantra as they start off really strong here, and they're going to look to continue that. But on the side of RBG, need to get a little bit of control and start shooting together off spawn. Blaze going to be the first one to lead that charge, and now only down by 3.
Yeah, honestly, after watching that health pack spawn for all of RBG Esports, this could be a lot worse than it is right now. Only down 2. You kind of have control of gold. Things are going a little bit better for you, and you spot a player spawning in your reticle. That's a great job by Blaze to finish that kill fast. And now we see RBG Esports with complete map control. The game is tied. Great job by them to kind of weather the storm right there at the beginning.
I mean, to be down 4-0, trapped on your health pack, to now be up by 1 is quite a statement from the RBG side. Like you said, Clutch, not an easy situation to fight out of. They managed to do it and essentially have a tied game here after our first minute 45.
Yeah, multiple nades come in and take down Goofy, and it's going to be up to Blaze and his teammate Top Gold right here to kind of hold map control until Goofy's able to get off spawn. Questionable push by Blaze here. He's unable to finish the kill bottom mid, and that's going to be a big kill that got away, because this player is going to be lifting on his teammates at gold here in a second, and he's not going to be able to do anything as we see the player lift to red. And Blaze stuck under blue. Like, Blaze went from controlling blue landing to all of a sudden being stuck under blue and completely out of the play that was the fight top gold very quickly, and that's going to be a mistake that leads Team Mantra to a 3-kill lead.
Now back on board with Gabriel, spawning low once again, wants to get up as fast as he can because he does have 3 of his teammates now low, avoids the nades on bridge. Maybe he gives him a chance to push out, but with 2 red X's on his screen, he's going to be a little bit wiser and make sure to sit back. Calling out, of course, those landing players. A nice shot there from Spartan, picking the face of Goofy right on the flag as well, and he will continue keeping an eye on health.
A little bit of deja vu right now, right? Like, RBG Esports turns and we're all on the blue health pack again, or we're all on red health pack again, and that's a tough situation. If you want to keep putting yourself in that situation, you're not going to come out on top in this game. I know they've done a good job of kind of managing bad situations so far, but Spartan has other plans at the no-scope killing spree right there under blue. And this is a very interesting angle. No one on RBG Esports is going to expect Spartan to be porting gold, but they do spot him out on the whites, and that's a huge kill because he was destined for a couple plays to be made top gold if he's able to get there with the snipe. and now back and forth these teams go.
Yeah, this is a tug of war, game 1 and game 2 included, back and forth, and a great series so far, the tightest one we've seen here on our main stage. And just like that, now a 2-kill game once again. And a nice double kill, though, from Ace up top. He gets some help. We'll see if he can get the third on Goofy. Going to continue to force Goofy back down to bottom middle. Now a 4-kill game for the first time in a little while.
Yeah, I want to sit here and watch Ace's screen for a little bit, because every time we've seen him, he's been hitting his shots, and he's playing pretty well so far today. I'd have to say that. And this is the Ace that you want to see. The Ace that can really take over games if he can play at a consistent level throughout this weekend. So this bodes well if you're a Team Mantra fan right now. Ace doing just about everything he can to get his teammates great spawns, top gold, allow his sniper to do his thing on blue landing, and support him while picking up kills, hitting his shots. I really love what we're seeing here out of Mantra.
Bubu's forced all the way back due to some great nades coming in from the flag, as well as that top mid match. Now a 4-kill game here between these two teams. Like we said, Ace with the most professional tournament experience under his belt across the whole stage. Really the outlying veteran, playing in the scene since Halo 2. Everyone else coming onto the scene Halo 3 or later. Now 41-37 as we approach these final moments. And just like our game number 1, Clutch, it's going to come down to a key series of plays that is going to decide where this game ends.
Yeah, I like where RBG Esports is at right now. They've got these players called out on the street, and as long as they don't get average, they're going to have an opportunity here to sandwich these players if they can spot Bubu sitting in the closet. Bubu's actually going to be doing his team a disservice by spawning him on the flag right there out in the open, and now the game is tied. RBG Esports playing just scrappy enough to hold on and get themselves back into this game.
I think Bubu was trying to kind of hide flag corner, but instead ended up spawning his teammates when his opponents were on landing. Very dangerous indeed. Just like that, going to be a 1-kill lead for Mantra, but we still do have RBG with a little bit of presence up top, but they're sharing that top gold presence with Mantra. Here we are, 46-44, 4 kills to go for Mantra. Now 2 kills to go, a big double comes in. Now 48-44, only 2 before they close it out.
Yeah, 49-45, Fallicated spots his foe. He's gonna try and push him, and as I said that, Bubu gets the last kill, and they were just made enough plays to win that game. And there's a testament to be said about how scrappy RBG Esports was able to kind of play from deficits and from bad situations and not having power weapon control throughout that map and keeping it close, but it wasn't enough, and they made just one too many mistakes at the end that Mantra was able to capitalize.
Take a look at the stats here. Spartan, who goes 15-11. Bubu's even there, Falcated with a -2 and a +3 from Ace there. So in the end, they do squeak it out. But like we said, and not very different from our game number 1, it really came down to what that final batch of plays looked like. And in the end, to be honest, you saw Mantra make it a little bit too easy.
Yeah, I think like it just speaks a testament to how many times we saw RBG Esports in bad situations, right? And them putting themselves kind of in those situations and not rotating fast enough to where they're all spawning on one side of the health pack and being called out, and now they're going to be sandwiched, right? It's one thing to be able to get out of that situation without building too much of a deficit once, doing it twice, but like you're playing with fate at some point when it happens 3-4 times, when you continue to kind of position yourself poorly. And like, yeah, you got out of it a couple times, but it's only a matter of time until you're able to get punished like they were just at the end.
Absolutely. Now their last hope is going to be a win here in game number 3, which is going to be capture the flag on Sanctuary. We talked about it during that first series, of course, one of the most beloved game types in competitive Halo history, and of course no exception here in Reach. One of the favorites out of the maps and game type combinations that we have here available, not only at this tournament, but also in the entire suite of Reach competitive game types. Now that game is getting underway right now. Last chance for RBG to continue and extend the series. Clutch, do you think they have a chance?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a great game type for them. I think that like they are a lot of veterans that have played a lot of Halo, right, on the side of RBG Esports. So I think that they're very familiar with Sync, and I think that that will be able to pay off in ways. They're going to have to stop Bubu from going off with a snipe, because he's a player that can easily get his team a few flag caps if he's able to get a couple clips. But it looks like RBG Esports had a hot start and is able to kind of get some pressure on the map. Ace goes down with snipe getting caught off right there, but RBG Esports is going to have rockets in ring. Are they going to be able to make the play? Let's sit and watch.
And you made a great point, Clutch, about how some of these players are great. Speaking of, great with these sniper rifles and starting to heat up. Great that we finally have a 2-sniper map between these two sides, because we've seen some great sniping from each side, and this will give an opportunity to see quite a few sniper battles. Looks like that is going to be a start of the flag run. Hits the body once. We'll see if they can finish that Backrock's kill. It's a great angle with the jet. just teasing the Jet repeatedly to try to get those rock ramp angles. And now finds another player. That's Blaze on the mid-rock. He will fall as well. That flag run will continue. Now expecting turret spawns. Goofy cannot get away. And look at this. Boo Boo with some great jetpack sniping, making this look, to be honest, slightly absurd. And gets a kill on Gilkey as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty incredible that we're watching. And this is like worst case scenario for RBG Esports is Boo Boo Doo Boo being comfortable with snipe, because, I mean, he does this every scrim I watch him play if he's on, right? So this is a Boo Boo Doo Boo that we're saying jetpacking up.
We got to clip this entire spree, the spree plus, because this is just absurd to have to play against. You seriously have a winged sniper rifle just flying around, jetpacking on all these angles of the map, making it so terrible for the RBG side.
And it's all these unpredictable angles like that jetpack is allowing him to have on these players. They're like, why am I getting sniped from a guy that's like
there's no call out for it. There's no call out.
I literally don't have a call out for it. It's top Boo Boo Doo Boo at this point.
It really is. When Boo Boo Doo Boo's up top Boo Boo Doo Boo, it's impossible to shut him down. I mean, he's sniping from his rock ramp, but 35 feet in the air into your all the way into your flag. He's done it repeatedly. That gets them the first flag, and looks like they got another triple kill, by the way, also for Spartan off screen. He picks that one up, and they're going to start the run again. It looks all too similar, except for the fact that we did see Boo Boo miss one shot, which I don't think he had done yet.
No, I mean, that was a pretty incredible performance so far in the first 2.5 minutes of this game. He hasn't died, and he already has the second sniper. If he just goes the entire game without dying and just continues to pick up snipes, this could be like one of the greatest tournament performances of all time, like as an individual game, right? But I love what he's doing, and this is what I mean by I say, like, only Boo Boo Doo Boo plays like Boo Boo Doo Boo, so he's being in such unorthodox spots and catching these players off guard. Like, there's no way this guy expects Boo Boo Doo Boo to be jetpacking like one-shot ring 3, right? No, but he's going to find himself with rockets as well, and Boo Boo doing such a good job of manipulating the jetpack and the ability to get these angles so well that it's throwing RBG Esports for a loop. You can tell by the fact that they haven't killed him once yet.
And Boo Boo misses a few more shots. He's got one shot left. Still has rockets, which he'll probably bring to ring regardless of when he lets this last snipe shot. That's not going to hit, but still has rocks and jet in ring. And at this point, we don't know if he's going to die.
No, I think he's probably not to die so far. And this gets dangerous because he doesn't have a DMR. And he's kind of playing a little bit safe, like knowing that he's like on this streak.
I like this push.
I want to see him be aggressive. Absolutely.
Yeah, he had to make this push. He had to make this push. First of all, there's snipe ammo in the hut, so he's going to make the push there. But also, he kind of had to get into the hut to apply pressure and also simply to find another weapon.
Right, and he's not really worried about his stats, and that shows by his willingness to leave ring and push and be the first leg of the attack right now. And that's going to be his first death that he's finally taken out. And if you're an RBG Esports fan, you're probably starting to think that we can't even let this kid get the jetpack again because that was the most absurd life that I think I've seen in Halo. It took 4 minutes to take the guy down.
I'm trying to think of something as a double kill comes in for Ace as well. As you also saw Boo Boo not shoot that rocket to Gilkey and instead throw it to the court, which worked out very well for them as they will continue this run. But it's a shot from the Pea Shooter that eventually takes down their flag carrier. But I'm going to have to agree with you, Clutch. I cannot think of a more ridiculous sequence or single life in competitive Halo history that stands out. That one I'm going to remember for a while.
Yeah, I mean, that's a testament to only Boo Boo Doo Boo plays like Boo Boo Doo Boo.
It's true. Now here we are, still 1-0. Boo Boo back in action in the court, and he's back exactly where we left him here, just hitting no scopes on the court rock. So we'll go back to Boo Boo Doo Boo and see what he can do for the next 4 minutes.
The best part about Reach is that a snipe spawns every 2 minutes, and they're always on the map, and it's always fun. The worst part about Reach is that there's a snipe spawning every 2 minutes, and if you're playing against Boo Boo Doo Boo, he's going to rip your face off.
That means you're going up against every Boo Boo life as 2 separate sniper rifles,
yes,
which is what he's done so far. He's on pace to have 2 sniper rifles every single life.
And that's just such a tough battle to try and climb, and they needed to take him out early, and they weren't able to, and now he's hot, and it feels like Mantra's pressure is just relentless, right? When has someone not been on their flag ramp in the past 5 minutes?
And look at this, they don't even know that Spartan was behind him. Finally, they'll turn around and all take him down together, so Spartan will fall. But now here comes the push from the RBG side. Blaze with some good shots, but once again, it's Boo Boo Doo Boo who's on the DMR. He will win that battle, and it's going to be Goofy who's stuck in the court momentarily. He's going to desperately hope that help comes. Gilkey dies off screen, and then he gets bum rushed.
Yeah, nice try by Goofy to try and stay alive and buy time, but there was no help coming for him, and 2 players for Mantra were sent to take him out, and I love that by Mantra. They showed that they weren't just going to send one person to take him out. They were going to send two to make sure the job got done, because that was a very important kill on the Goofy in the courtyard. So they took him out. Now this battle for Rockets is going down as Spartan takes down Gilkey with the snipe, and he's going to play his life right here, and a good job to stay alive and get out of dodge.
So I say, we've of course been highlighting quite a bit just how absurd the sequence of events were from Boo Boo, and not to discredit them whatsoever. But at the end of all that, Clutch, it is still a 1-0 game, and RBG still with all the life to get a flag on the board and either send us to overtime or win in regulation. Spartan wants to do everything he can to make sure that's not the case, however, as he will stay alive from the carbine, wait for his team to push into ring, and some great teamwork there. Immediately takes down Gilkey. That will be an even more snipe ammo for him. But as you see, he does have to also worry about Blaze all the way on the other side of the map as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're fighting such an uphill battle if you're RBG Esports. You're getting caught off guard by snipers the entire game. Like, eventually you've got to start finding these guys, because these free shots, these free kills will amount to more than just one flag cap, because this is a triple. Almost hit the over, but he does lay in the body, and the pressure for Mantra is relentless. It's going to continue to pour onto RBG Esports as they start spawning in the rocks with Valikated behind them. Valikated needs to stay alive, does trade kills, but if he's able to stay alive there, that turns into cap number 2 for Mantra. Yep. Unfortunately for RBG Esports, they were able to get out of that pretty safely and pretty securely. And now finally Gabriel has control of the enemy's hut. You have to think if Valkyrie finished that kill on Goofy a little bit faster, could have been a very different sequence of events, but now it's actually going to be a decent push here from RBG and Gabriel. They're putting great pressure on the back rocks and the rock ramp. Gilkey is there as well. They should be able to get here to jump up, and this is looking good. Shots coming in initially from the pillars, but they will continue the run, and Gabriel should be home free here as long as they slay at the 50-yard line appropriately. Phenomenal job by RBG Esports right there. They only had to wipe them once in order to try to get into their base, wipe them one more time, and they get the flag cap. And like you said, like as dominant as Mantra has looked so far in this game 3, it's all tied up because RBG Esports is such a good fundamental team that they don't have to overslay. They can do the job as simply as they need to, as long as they get the kills when it matters. So those were some huge individual kills to be picked up. Great nades by Gabriel onto the rock ramp right there. They got 3 different players weak, and now they were able to capitalize and tie this game. This is big momentum for RBG Esports to come back into this game. Absolutely. Yes, they had to put up with all of the shenanigans with the jetpack in the beginning, but when we look at the scoreboard now, here at the 21-20 or so mark, great shot there out of Blaze as well. Really, it's all about that scoreboard and shots like that from Blaze on Boo Boo, so it's starting to return the favor just a bit. As if this score remains, we will head into overtime, but keep in mind, more shots coming out of Blaze. He's going to get the rockets as well, keeping an eye on Jump and Carr. He does see pressure coming in from Carr. Keeps his shields entirely, though, and able to pick up the killing spree. Going to call out the hut player. That's going to be Gabriel, who needs to help out from the hut. If he hit that snipe shot, I was going to go crazy. But that was a phenomenal job of Blaze just saying, I'm tired of getting sniped. I'm going to do it myself this time around. Picks up the snipe and starts going off. And RBG Esports is still running this flag. This player on the rock ramp is able to pick up a kill, and it looks like Goofy has got one himself. So if Gilkey can get a kill on the player spawning rocks, that would have been a cap. But unfortunately, he does get taken out by a player spawning behind him. And we're starting to see a lot of life out of RBG Esports. Finally, we're starting to see some momentum and some strategy change to where they're now on the aggression Mantra a little bit on the back end due to some great snipes and a lot of pressure. And just like we said about our first 2 games, Goofy there with the jetpack, he and Ace will trade, though. Now it's going to be Boo Boo with some more. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen someone grab Jet on Sank and immediately go straight to the top just to get any angles they can, and now he's also got the sniper and Jet again. So here we go. Boo Boo Doo Boo round 3 picks up another kill across the map on Gilkey, and by the end of this tournament, you could see a petition to see that jetpack removed from the map and maybe the game. Yeah, I mean, I'd be complaining about it if I'm playing against this guy right now. I know that for sure because I never used jetpack that successfully throughout my Reach career. Boo Boo does get taken out, but Boo Boo does a great job of just getting as much information as possible whenever he's that high up, right? He's not necessarily going for the kills because he was waiting for that next snipe to come up, but what he did do is he spotted a player on the turret going for snipes, so he has a little bit of information to transfer to his teammates in order to set them up for success as well. Absolutely amazing scouting tool now as we look heading into the second third of our stanza here. 4 minutes just over left in regulation, as I started to say earlier before
Boo started to heat up again. If the score is tied at 15 minutes left, we will go into sudden death overtime. However, if one of the two teams does lead when the clock strikes 15, that will be the game, and it will end in regulation. 4 minutes left now officially.
3 members from Mantra go down, and their flag gets pulled. RBG Esports so efficient with their flag runs, but as I say that, Ace spawns right above them in the hut and is able to take down the flag guy. This is going to be a broken flag cap for RBG Esports, and good defense by Mantra. And this is all a testament to Boo staying alive, backing up, playing his life, and getting Ace that spawn.
Absolutely.
Because if Boo dies there, Ace spawns rocks 100% of the time, right? So Boo kind of had a great spawn influence and was able to just buy enough time for his teammates to spawn up there and stop that cap. That was tough for RBG Esports to get their momentum shut down right there. It's going to be interesting to watch how they respond now that they don't have map control.
Let me tell you, as a coach, that is heartbreaking to watch a player like Blaze running that flag, not knowing there's a player that's right below the turret who he could have dropped and shot and challenged and continued that run. A little bit of miscommunication there coming in on the side of RBG. And now looking at Boo. Of course, he's got the jet. He's got rockets as well. And he's going to rain down some hot death, not only on the Bond, but also on the turret. That's a double, looking for the third. Triple as well with the pre-rocket there onto S2. You know he wanted that sniper rifle. He doesn't get that, but they pick up a whole bunch of kills. Now Goofy is going to be the poor soul who's in court. That's going to be a flag cap. And once again, when we start to see Boo pairing the power weapons with this jet, he makes it look way too easy. A beautiful set of kills for him. They do run that flag, and now they're only 2.5 minutes away from winning this game.
Well, that entire cap was a result of a counter cap, basically, on the first run that RBG Esports tried. And this is yet another counter cap play, and a great run by Blaze, and I love that he's tossing the flag to his teammate and decides to take the snipe. No one for RBG Esports was running that flag for a second, but a teammate finally picks it up, and Blaze landing a nice body shot onto Spartan. This is almost a guaranteed cap. If his teammates are able to stay alive here, I love that they're running this slow, making sure they get the kills, and a huge double by Blaze. Great decision making.
Gabriel needs to stay alive. He's the only player alive. Needs to be actually careful here, because if they're getting back rock spawns, this might not go in. Goofy's on the flag ramp, just on the rock side. He has to go in for the touch. He will fall as well. Who's there? Right now, they're all on the carbine. No one in position for the touch. Flag does reset, and that is heartbreaking there. Now 1:43 left before Mantra might close this one out.
Yeah, and that was great scrappy defense by Mantra, right? I mean, I didn't think there was any way they were going to be able to stop that flag cap, especially after Blaze goes down, but it was a great job by Blaze to understand the situation and know that flag was going to return, and he overextended immediately, and it's resulted into a double kill.
Huge.
And this flag cap. So this is a great job by Blaze to kind of overextend immediately when realizing that that flag cap was dead immediately off spawn, and to run straight to the enemy snipe. It was unexpected from Mantra, and a great heads-up play by Blaze that got his team back in this game.
I mean, a huge play, and it's very rare that you see someone who times that, even though they were getting outslayed moments before, to get the timing on that run perfect. And this series, even though it's 2-0 on the scoreboard, each game has delivered with neck-and-neck games throughout here. We're tied 2-2 in our game number 3. And, of course, not only in terms of time, but also in terms of score, we are now officially in sudden death overtime.
3 members go down for Mantra, and Boobadoob is the last one alive. And he's going to try and overextend, does take out Blaze with the snipe, and that's a big kill, because if Blaze is able to spawn kill his teammates in the rocks, that was going to be an opportunity for RBG Esports. But a good job by Boo to push, get that kill, and come back with the snipe, and now set up for some map control for the side of Mantra.
Now, really, this is the test, right? We've seen both teams allow flag caps to, of course, a piece at this point. What an angle there from Boo as he picks up that kill on Gabriel. But now it's really going to be about not making the next mistake, right? Each team has allowed, essentially, you're allowed 2 mistakes. You let that third one come in, that's going to be the third flag, that's going to be it. So you might even see the play change just a tiny bit, with both teams playing a little bit more conservative and not being the one to make sure you go 3 or 4 down.
And Mantra did a good job right there, knowing that those rockets were going to come up at 15-10. They were just playing for map control, right? They were just containing RBG Esports to be able to get these rockets, because now they're able to pick up 2 quick kills, one with the snipe, one with the rockets, and you see Tyler, aka Spartan, on the flag, and he's in premier position to run this third and final cap of the series. Boo spotting multiple players in the courtyard here, is going to play his life. Spartan goes down, so RBG Esports doing a phenomenal job of killing the only player that was actually deep enough in their base to try and start a flag run.
Really interesting there that we did not see that flag run continue, and you have to wonder if Boo hit maybe just that player on the pea shooter, if we would have seen different results. Ace and Boo down right now, so it's a 2v2 momentarily against Gilkey and Gabriel. Valkated, though, will fall as well. So ring control momentarily going to go in the hands of Gilkey and Spartan, who are fighting over it. And Gilkey is going to be the one who falls. Spartan actually picks up that kill. Gets help from Ace as well. Great teamwork out of Mantra once again to resecure control of ring.
Yeah, and Boo Boo Doo spawns, picks up another snipe. It's like clockwork right now. And this is a swarm from Team Mantra, but 2 go down. Great nades. RBG Esports really playing some solid defense so far in the second half of this game after kind of learning how Mantra wanted to push their base. Giving up a couple mistakes early on, allowing those caps isn't exactly happening anymore. Wow. And now Boo Boo goes down, and this is RBG Esports starting to adapt, and I really think that they're starting to gain momentum throughout this map, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them come out on top here with a great opportunity from Goofy, ring 3 with Jetpack Snipe.
Now here, Goofy challenging Boo Boo at his own game, up on ring 3 with Jet and Snipe. Goofy able to stay alive somehow on S2, lands a great body shot. Excuse me, S1 earlier also lands a great body shot on Ace and takes down Spartan almost through the smoke, picks up a dub. Eventually, though, he will fall. We are now 2 minutes into that overtime period.
Yeah, and the swarm is on right now. Multiple members are going to be spawning rocks, and it's up to the RBG Esports members spawning rocks right here to get a few kills, because if they're not able to, this is going to be a flag run in the rocks right now. Huge job by Mantra to use your teamwork and everyone stayed alive for Mantra. Textbook Halo right now. Valkated doing everything he can to block their spawns right there, throwing nades, and multiple members are spotted spawning Hut. This is almost a guaranteed last flag cap unless there's an overextender on the side of RBG Esports.
Ace, let's see, goes down. Who is in position there as we take a look across? Is there anyone? To be honest, Boo Boo's in the rocks. Boo Boo's the next closest. We'll have to see where everyone spawns. I think Boo Boo's going to be your man to bring that flag in. Yes, indeed. They close it out 3-2, and they will win the series with a score of 3-0. Might not be an indicator of just how close those games were, but in the end, that doesn't matter. They will close it out with a full sweep.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a 3-0 sweep in the series, but that score, like you said, does not tell the story of what went down in this series. These two teams were very close together, and like I said, it's going to be up to the playmakers to decide who's going to come out on top, and we saw just more plays being made on the side of Mantra and the likes of Boo Boo Doo Boo.
Speaking of plays being made, I think we have 2 40 bombs on the side of Mantra, if I'm not mistaken, coming at the hands of Boo Boo and Spartan together. Yes, 40 and 20 and 40 and 29. I mean, to put up numbers like you're seeing on your screen against players like Blaze, Gabriel, Gilkey, and Goofy, quite a statement from them. Even though that was a 3-2 game, those are big slaying numbers.
Yeah, and they almost they outslayed them so hard to just win by 1 cap, right, in overtime. So I want to speak testament to RBG Esports and their ability to play from bad positions, right? Because they showed throughout that entire series that they had a lot of success of getting a lot of scrappy time in game 1, where they probably shouldn't have been getting as much time as they did in the top hill and whatnot. But they were doing such a good job of playing from these terrible positions that they can just get it together and get a little bit more favorable situations for themselves. They come out in this series on top. Yep. But that wasn't the story that we saw here.